Welcome, viewers, to the Broward County Bar Association's Meet Our Sponsors. In this episode, we will be speaking with Heath Eskalyo, Principal Partner, Chief Financial Officer at Kelley Kronenberg. Welcome, Heath, and thank you for taking the time to log in and chat with us.
My pleasure. Thank you for the invitation, and thanks for being a great partner with my firm. We're obviously very excited on our relationship, being members of the 100% Club, and for all the great things that you and your organization do for our legal community.
Thank you. Thank you. Likewise, you are our anchor out west, and we love working with your firm. You're so involved. You're such givers to not only the legal community, but just the general community. I know you're very involved, so thank you very much. With that, Heath, let's get right to it. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and your role at Kelley Kronenberg?
Sure. No, appreciate it. Again, thanks for the opportunity. Certainly excited. So, my background, I'm sure you probably heard it a lot, but I'm one of those geeks. I think at 5 years old was probably going to kindergarten with a briefcase. And I don't know why, no lawyers in my family, but something that as I got into elementary school, for whatever reason, I didn't want to be a police officer, didn't want to be a firefighter, didn't want to be a pro football player. I wanted to be a lawyer. And it's something that just kind of stuck with me throughout my schooling. Born in New York, went to Ithaca College as undergrad, go Division III Bombers, and went to City University Law School, which is part of Queens College. But basically always knew I wanted to relocate to Florida. And that was really my game plan, even during law school. Kind of came about from having the grandparents who retired down to Florida, used to come here as a kid, married my high school sweetheart, who her parents had a place here. And, all throughout school, we're like, this is just awesome. I mean, the weather, the palm trees, sure beats, subways and snow. So, obviously relocated here right after law school. Became employed at the Broward County State Attorney's Office, which I loved. Great experience being a prosecutor and getting some tremendous trial experience. And 3 years later, 1995, I joined Kelley Kronenberg, and 26 years later, here I am. So it's been a great career. Still love showing up to work every day. Never get the Sunday night blues. And somewhat blessed. My older daughter graduated college and is one of the members in our professional development department. And my younger daughter is going to be going to Law and hopefully being part of the firm one day. So I'm very, very fortunate.
Well, congratulations on both your daughters. They have a great example to follow. So talking about Kelley Kronenberg, can you tell us a little bit about the firm and what areas of law do you actually cover?
Sure. So way back when, firm started in 1980. As mentioned, I started in 95. When we started, we were a workers' comp defense firm. That was really one line of business. And throughout the years, as ownership changed, and I, along with my two other business owner partners, Michael Fichtel and Howard Wander, we obviously started to change the look of the firm by becoming diversified and really try to be multidimensional in serving our clients. And as we sit here today, we presently have 12 offices, which are throughout Florida, Chicago, and recently a New Orleans office. We're about 170 lawyers and about 375 total employees. So certainly have grown throughout the years and continue to look for acquisitions and growth. Out of our business, probably about 80%, give or take, is focused on areas of business litigation, representing them in employment matters, business disputes, commercial litigation, construction, all lines of the insurance business of general liability, comp, E&O, D&O, OSHA, along with some mortgage banking and lending work. And then the remaining 20% of what we do is more on the transactional side, dealing with some land use and zoning, immigration, family law, estate planning, asset protection, things of that nature. And then we really pivoted back in January of 2020, just about a year and a half ago, where we opened what we call the Justice for Kids unit, which is the first time in firm's history we went into a plaintiff type of work, but it's a very narrow focus where we only have the privilege of representing SAD children who are unfortunately physically, sexually, emotionally abused in family residences, foster homes, emergency shelters, things of that nature. So it's a very targeted where we only will represent children within that arena.
So tell us a little bit about your firm's culture, the philosophy, values, and how does that translate into how you interact with your clients and serve them?
Sure. So as we mentioned, again, a big part of our practice is representing businesses, entrepreneurs, things of that nature, insurance carriers across all the different lines. And there's a lot of competition out there. There's no doubt a lot of great firms. So, it's always, what are you going to sell to your client that is really different, the true differentiator than your competitor. And, one thing that I'm very, very strict on is for us to be a disruptor, to constantly come up with ideas how to disrupt the traditional law firm model. So, and I think with a lot of that, it turns into truly knowing your client and pursuing more information about your client to almost to the point where they get a little nervous as to how do you know that so much about my business, right? And I think it's critical because by really knowing your client's business and really understanding and appreciating what their angst are, it really it does help you to adapt what your offering is going to be. So one offering to one client could be very, very different, even though perhaps they sell the same product. So we really try to increase the value that we deliver, improve obviously the overall client experience. And that's another very important thing to us is really remove friction. We don't want, as you know, nobody really likes going to a lawyer, right? I mean, we like going to the ice cream store, but we really don't like going to a law office. So it's really just trying to make the experience as pleasurable as can be without any type of frustrations from the greeting to the front door till receipt of their final bill. And that's really comes in part also by what I deem our very progressive, sophisticated business development department, where we're not only trying to assist all of our attorneys in growing their book of business, but maintaining clients by excellent client service, by cross marketing to allow all of our colleagues to introduce our clients to somebody else that perhaps could offer a service, along with entertaining new markets, practice areas. And I think the last part of our values as it relates to our client is for us to be excellent, we have to invest in ourselves. And what I mean by that is I believe we put more money, we put more technology, we put it more in human capital than our competition because we view all these investments within our firm to make our people better, smarter, stronger to help serve our clients. So definitely committed to that.
So Heath, my next question kind of really touched on what you've already answered, but I'll ask it, and there may be some other things you want to add to it, and that is what sets your firm apart from others?
Sure. Yeah, I definitely, can give a few more comments. Again, awesome law firms out there, but by no stretch. But I do think the legal community in and of itself is very slow to innovate. And I don't mean innovate by the practice of law, meaning they're good academics. Lawyers know the law, they're good practitioners. But I think the law firm mentality is slow to actually recognize the business side of running a law firm. And I think we here at Kelley Kronenberg are continuously evolving, and we look for ways to improve the way we deliver our services, the way we manage our employees and grow our teams, from having a director of processes to make things more efficient within the firm, to having internal professional and personal development programs by actually having the Kelley Kronenberg Academy, where we bring in speakers, not only how to make them better lawyers, how to make them better leaders, managers, how to make them better moms, dads, brothers, sisters, children, cousins, friends, what have you, by providing them leadership training. In fact, right now we're actually doing a full-blown Dale Carnegie training session that all of our attorneys are involved in. And I also think we expose our folks to our C-level suite. I think we're unique. We have 8 C-level members within our firm, from your traditional, human resource officer to your non-such traditional of chief strategy officer. And they're very talented individuals. So they certainly, I think, help us distinguish ourselves. So even when we're allowing our own employees to have access to them to grow and to learn, but we also offer our C-suite to our clients. So when they're having some issues, if I could bring in my chief human resource officer or my chief strategy officer to sit in on a meeting and help my client perhaps dissect some issues other than the legal issue, I think that it pays off in dividends as far as the relationship. And I think the last thing I would add is our business model that we have here for our attorneys, for our business unit leaders, I think is extremely unique. It's transparent, and it really has allowed us to really recruit some amazing talent that I would definitely say 5 years ago, they would never even send a resume here. Now we are a different caliber firm, and it's evident, I think, by our tremendous growth throughout the years.
So with that forward-thinking business model, and the talented people that you have, because obviously I know many of your attorneys, they're all members of the bar, and you do have a cadre of very talented folks. I'm sure you've received a lot of awards and recognition. So can you tell us a little bit about some of that recognition?
Yeah, definitely. Great question, and we're really proud of that. And I'm sure we see all these companies, and they could throw anything up on their website, but we're really proud. And if I say, we're part of hundreds of charities, and we really encourage our team, from our attorneys to our legal assistants to our office services, to get involved in the community, that we would support them. Don't just pay, but pay, attend, and contribute. And with that, some of the awards that we received this past year, which we're very proud of, was the 2021 top workplaces in the United States, best places to work by South Florida Business Journal, Sun Sentinel top places to work. But probably the two that I'm most proud of, and those I'm very proud of, because again, it shows of our investment in our people, right? People want to work here, which is something I go home very happy about. But probably the two I'm most proudest of, is that we received Law Firm of the Year award for legal aid in Broward County. Something that a lot of our attorneys are dedicated to, that the firm supports, as well as we received the Humanitarian of the Year award from SORP JCC. And I think that sends dividends as well as to the type of people we have working here, that it's a business, it is a for-profit business, but that there's a big part of our firm that gives back to the community where it's needed, and it's very crucial.
That's a perfect segue. You already touched on some of it. Can you elaborate and talk more about your community involvement, volunteering, advocacy?
Sure. So I mentioned the Justice for Kids unit, and a very critical component of that, and that's why we actually embraced that department, is because prior to them joining Kelley Kronenberg, I was a supporter and a participant in the Florida's Children's First, and I'm sure you're very familiar with them as well. Whereby they focus on making systemic changes for children who are unfortunately in state custody, who need a voice to better protect them. So we are statewide sponsors of that. We actively participate, we fundraise, and we help with pushing legislation to better protect the children. So that's something that's really dear to our firm. Other great charities that we've recently been involved in, of course, is past Thanksgiving. A lot of people with the pandemic certainly hit harder than usual. Harvest Drive, we gathered 30 of our team members to box, hand out food for those families in need at our office. Special Compass is another charity that we're involved in, which is where I'm very much into sports, Spartan, triathlons, and myself and many of the members of my firm basically participate with those that are differently abled. So we're the engine in them in a race where we'll swim with them and they're on a raft, or we'll bike with them and they're in a chariot behind us, or we'll run with them pushing them. So we do a lot of those events, and recently we just a few weekends in a row helped a disabled couple with rehab of their home. So, you know, again, the list goes on and on as to the charities, but, you know, not only do we hand money, we show up. And I think that actually has more value than just writing a check or entering your credit card info. So big part of our firm.
Agreed. So is there anything else you'd like to add and tell our audience about?
Well, you know, the background you're looking at is our new headquarters. I'm not really in the lobby, but this is our new headquarters, very progressive building, mock courtroom, rooftop. Excited that we're actually building a sister building right next door, another 35,000 square foot building as a continuation of our headquarters, which we expect to break ground in April of this year. So we're very excited. I would invite anybody who's interested, swing by. I'd love to show them, tell them about the firm. You know, other than that, we work as, you know, I think one of the stigmas that large law firms, and I guess in Florida, we are a large law firm. You know, in New York, we're not, Chicago, we're not, but Florida, we are. And that sometimes is a turnoff to clients or to people. But, you know, we operate in very small performing teams. And, you know, there's a strong camaraderie. There's a lot of collaboration. And although it's a large firm, it really is a family setting. And I sincerely mean that. So it's a great place to work. We have great partners like the Broward County Bar Association and many others. And we're going to be here for a long time. So, you know, we value these relationships and always look to expand, to strengthen them. And I would just welcome, you know, any interest in having a dialogue further.
And I can actually concur with what you're saying. Actually, your firm is very family-like. Although it seems big, you know, when you get there and you start talking to people, it's just, you're very welcoming. So, you know, you immediately, the feeling of, oh my God, this is, you know, such a big building and so many people, but it's really not. It's very, in a lot of ways, homey.
Thank you. You know, and that's you know, I'm proud, as believe it or not, I actually was the designer of this. It was a massive project, but I was very pleased with the support of my partners, how it came out. But, you know, it is a family setting. I mean, I love when, you know, when I'm at my house on a Sunday and I get a call from one of my attorneys, or, hey, I'm in the neighborhood, can I swing by with my baby? You know, that sends, you know, messages across the board that, you know, we're not only, you know, have the collaboration and teamwork here, we're friends outside. And I know a lot of businesses don't like that, but that's who we are. You know, quite candidly, I put the jacket on for you today. So,
Yeah.
I didn't go as
you.
far as the tie. I probably forgot how to do a tie because I don't practice anymore. You know, I help manage business development, finance, but I still know, obviously, I was a practitioner for 20 plus years, so I appreciate all the hard work that for those who are still on the front lines. But no, it's a good place, and I'm obviously could be self-serving because I am an owner, but I enjoy it. It's fun to come to work, as crazy as that's. Have a great personal life. Don't get me wrong, okay? But it's fun being here, and otherwise I wouldn't let my daughter work here. Let's put it that way. So anyway, but appreciate your time as always.
Heath, I actually had a great time. This is our, I mean, we've only spoken a few times, full disclosure to our audience. And, this was great. I really enjoyed getting to know you even better. I appreciate you taking your time.
Of course, always, and same here. I've had the pleasure of meeting you several times from our attorneys who are very much involved, and I thank them for doing that because it is important. So, and obviously the role you serve, we appreciate that as well.
Thank you, Heath. And to our audience, thank you for being with us. I hope that you learned something from Heath. And if you ever have any legal needs, please reach out to Kelley Kronenberg. They're a wonderful firm and they will take care of you. Have a wonderful
Absolutely.
day.
Thank you. Be safe. Thank you.